A common question I get from our students is, hey, I'm going on vacation. I don't want to miss out on my training. Should I go somewhere else or should I take the week off? And it really depends on the individual. For some people, their training is so diligent and so focused that their body's probably worn down, that they're probably best just taking the week off and recollecting themselves, allowing themselves to recover and come back fresh. But some people travel a lot for work and they need the jiu-jitsu as a stress relief. And in that sense, yeah, go find another gym, keep training, keep aiming up. But there are some things you want to be mindful of, right? Because when you go into a gym, you're going into a new culture and you don't know what that culture is. It might be a culture where they're very welcoming and loving and they take care of you, or it might be a culture where there's some guys trying to prove something, especially if you're a higher belt. And you come in, say you're a 40-year-old businessman and you're a purple belt and you're just trying to train and have fun. And you walk into a school, there's going to be some hungry 20-year-old blue belts who are trying to, make their name. And they're going to use you as a vehicle to do that, and you could get hurt. So I think some good guidelines for training at a new school when you're visiting would be pay attention. Look at the culture of the school. See how the guys train. See how they treat each other. See the reverence they have for their instructor, if it's appropriate or not. And in paying attention, you're going to kind of get a good idea as to what to expect. And then when it comes to the actual training, you want to be safe. You want to feel it out first. I remember training with Renzo Gracie coming up, and it would be like the first minute or two, he was just kind of letting you do stuff and just watching and feeling it and just watching your patterns. And then all of a sudden, when you made that wrong mistake again, he would just capitalize and it was over. But the point was, in the beginning, he was very passive. He was just working with you and letting it happen. And I think in the beginning, you want to be passive with a new partner because you don't know what their intentions are for you, but they're going to show their hand pretty quick. So your job is just to be safe, kind of feel it out, see at what pace this person's training at. And once you get a good gauge for how they train, then go for it. And I think a second one is to match the intensity of the person you're training with. You may be someone who just wants to roll slow and you don't want to ruffle any feathers, so you roll slow with them. Or if someone's going a mile a minute and your body and mind are ready to do that in that training session, then you can match that intensity and go a mile a minute. But you definitely are going to not rub anyone the wrong way if you match their intensities rather than make it a little bit faster than they want it to be or a little bit harder than they want it to be. So I think that's important, right? You're going to pay attention. You're going to match their intensities. And then I think it's also important just to kind of let them know what your goal is. Like, hey, I'm here. I'm looking to compete soon. I'm looking for some hard training. Or just, hey, I love jiu-jitsu. I'm here to get in a workout and have fun. And usually communicating while you're there, people will respect that. And people will make sure that they actively help you pursue your goals if you tell them what those goals are. And I think a big part of it is letting them know your injuries. In our academy, it's so close-knit. Everyone knows what's going on. I know Zach's shoulder is hurt, or I know McCool's hip is bothering him. But when I go to a new school, no one knows who I am. No one knows this lingering wrist injury I have or what's going on with my knee. So I think it's your job every roll before you start to let them know, like, hey, man, if you could just watch my left pec, it's been bothering me a little bit. I had an injury. Most people will take care of you. So it's the responsibility of a partner to protect you in training, but it's also your responsibility to protect yourself. And that's why you usually start slower and passive and nice and small and protected. You let them know what injuries you're working with, and maybe you let them know your goals too. And then you match their intensity. And those are some good rules to keep your training safe when you're on the road. Because jiu-jitsu is such a big part of all of our lives. And for a lot of us who travel a lot in business, or maybe we're on vacation that 1 week a year and we still want to train, go train. That's great. You get so much out of the art. But you want to do it in a way that serves your ultimate goal. And for all of us, our ultimate goal is to stay healthy. And the biggest risk when you go to another school in a new gym is maybe someone's out to prove their name and they're going to hurt you a little bit. So you want to be mindful of that. But then there's also the flip side of the stranger. There's an ambivalent line that runs right through it. When you go to the new gym, that's an entirely new group of people to train with and learn from. They're probably practicing techniques that you've never experienced before. Or it's the same techniques taught in a different way with a different mindset. So I think one of the most advantageous aspects of traveling is to learn from a different community. And then you come back to your community with that new knowledge and you revivify your culture because you're going to bring back something new and exciting. Or maybe a little tidbit that your instructor never talked about, at least explicitly. Because we have a tendency to wall ourselves off from the stranger, right? We build walls and we push them away. But the stranger represents the unknown, and they also represent everything you don't know. And whatever you currently are, for you to become what you're supposed to be, The only way to get there is to encounter the unknown and go through it. So the stranger represents a risk, but they also represent a great tool in your development. So if you go into another academy and you have the mindset of I'm going to be smart, I'm going to be safe, but I'm going to learn what these people have to teach, you can get so much out of the experience. And maybe you can go away and say, hey, I really liked what this school did and how they did this drill, or I like this part of their warm-up. You can come back, and if you have a good relationship with your instructor, let them know, here were the great things I saw, here were the things I didn't like, and allow your instructor, who's probably only in their own school every single day, to get to learn from your perspective and to see the experiences you had that hopefully will allow him or her to build a better school themselves. So when you go away, train safe, be respectful. It's also a good habit just to, if someone doesn't charge a mat fee, buy a t-shirt, give them a little nod, you're contributing in some way, and that's always nice and respectful. And then go there to learn. Go there to acquire some new information that you haven't found on your own. And if you do that, when you do travel, you'll have a positive experience, you'll learn a ton, and you'll come back with something to share with your teammates where now they're better for you having gone away. And that's the goal. We want to play well, but ideally, you want to play jiu-jitsu well in a way that's better for everyone around you. That's a good way to do it.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I love jiu-jitsu and I want to spend my life serving others through this medium. If you found these videos worthwhile, please subscribe to the page, like, comment, let us know how we're doing. My goal is that the more we all use jiu-jitsu to mold ourselves on the mat, the better our lives will be off the mat. And then we can be a positive impact on the lives of those around us. So subscribe to this channel if you found it valuable. We're going to put a ton of stuff out here, and we hope it's worthy of your time.